Hello and welcome to Popcorn Dreams Gut Reactions. If you're looking for a quick spoiler-free review, then you have come to the right place. And today we are watching The Little Things.
You knew him, didn't you? Then you had that one little feeling. But you waved it away.
It was written and directed by John Lee Hancock, who has a very solid collection of work behind him. He did The Blind Side, he did Saving Mr. Banks, and he also did The Founder. Kern County Deputy Sheriff Joe Deacon is sent to Los Angeles for what should be a quick and simple information gathering assignment. Instead, he becomes embroiled in the search for a serial killer who is terrorizing the city, and who Deacon himself may have links to from a past case. It stars Denzel Washington, who of course was in Malcolm X, Crimson Tide, Philadelphia, and Training Day. It also stars Rami Malek, who of course was Freddie Mercury in the Queen biopic. And it also stars Jared Leto, who was in Fight Club, Requiem for a Dream, and was of course everyone's favourite Joker. Yay! We're going to see him again in the Snyder Cut. Yay! Are they any good? Well, I mean, those three actors are amazing. They've got excellent history of work. I don't think it's any shock to any of you for me to say that their performances are excellent. I feel a little bit like Jared Leto occasionally goes a little bit overboard with the creepy.
You must really like my car.
I do. How's the trunk space?
In this kind of movie, I generally prefer someone playing a psycho who is just very, very normal.
You're very tan, Will. Your hands are rough. They don't look like cops' hands anymore. And that shaving lotion is something a child would select. It has a ship on the bottle, doesn't it?
Or at least obviously seems very, very normal. But the fact that he plays him quite creepy, at the time that I was watching it, I thought, is he going a bit too far? But actually, once you've watched the film, you realise that actually that's important that he plays it like that. It's actually quite clever.
How's the trunk space?
He kind of almost sacrifices a little bit of his performance for the betterment of the whole film. That'll make sense when you've watched it. Just, don't judge me. Stop it. Just don't leave me alone. Jared Leto's great, but just, sometimes I think he's a bit over the top. Oh, and I have to say as well, Rami Malek, have you had a dislocated jaw that's just been wired up? Because you talk like it all through this movie. And he always kind of talks a bit like that, but in this film, as somebody who has dislocated my jaw, I just from yawning, oddly enough, I get that it could be very painful, but he talks exactly the way that I talk whenever my jaw dislocates, and it's just bizarre. He looks like he's kind of straining his jaw all the time and doesn't want to move his mouth. It's just, what you doing, man? It's distracting.
You're not exactly a department favorite.
But, I guess that's the way he talks. But he's not normally this much like that in movies. Yeah. Maybe I just haven't noticed it before. Maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, it was off-putting. It looked weird. It looked like he'd had a stroke. So this film is generally good. It does everything correctly, but nothing is really done with any great flair. Everything is fine. It's just fine. It's okay. It's nice. I teach English. I tell my kids not to use nice all the time because it's such a bland word, but everything this film does, you've seen it before. And you've seen it done with a little bit more invention as well. When I was watching it, I was feeling all the time that this film's biggest problem is the film Seven. Because what you're seeing here, Seven did it better. You've got the old cop who's haunted by ghosts. You've got a young cop trying to make his name for himself. And then you've got a guy playing with the police. Yeah, and then after that it's procedural. In fact, even the last section of the film, the guy playing with the police takes the police on a drive to find an as yet undiscovered body. I was like, this is kind of just straightforward rip-off territory, isn't it? But then afterwards I had a little look on Wikipedia, and it turns out he wrote the script for this like in the 90s, or 20 odd years ago. So, I mean, if it had come out before Seven, then it might have had a moment. We'd now remember it as the film that sort of like set up Seven. But, Seven does everything that this film does, but does it much better. And in fact, there have been many films since then that are of a similar style, but all of them really more interesting than this. But that makes it sound like I'm saying this is a terrible film. It's not. It's fine. It's okay. It's, yeah. I will just say as well, in this kind of movie, you're often looking for sort of a twist at the end, some sort of interesting moment, some sort of, oh, I didn't see that coming, something that freaks you out a little bit, but at the same time gives you that sort of satisfaction that what you've watched is like a really good story and has a really good ending. And I'm not going to tell you whether there's a twist or not in this film, but what I will say is that the ending left me a little bit dissatisfied, I guess is the way I would describe it. I just was a bit like, okay, that's interesting. Good job. Well done. But I didn't really care. I thought it was less interesting than if they just... Well, I just think it was less interesting than the other endings that they could have done. And as you go along, you can sort of see little places where they could have gone off one way or another way, or they could have done something a bit different. And, it's fine. It's just fine. Have I said fine too much yet? I think probably I have. Fine. Also, I get the feeling like everybody in this film is a piece of shit. Are they supposed to be a piece of shit? Am I supposed to empathise with them more and like them? Because I don't really. I kind of feel like they're all dickheads. Like everybody. So, apart from the girls that get killed, obviously. Terrible. Ugh, it's bad. But, by the end of the film, I felt bad. And I just felt like everyone in the film was an arsehole.
Things probably changed a lot since you left.
You still got to catch him, right?
Yeah.
Not that much has changed then, huh?
Would I recommend it? Yes. Well, no. I'm undecided. You know this kind of movie. If you like this kind of movie, you've seen this film 100 times before. If you don't like this movie, then you've got no interest in watching it, and you've probably turned off already. Don't turn off though. Come back, because this watch time helps my channel grow. Don't please come back. I think I need to see the film again, which I'm not going to get to do before I post this review. At the moment, I feel underwhelmed, but I might go back and look and watch it again and think, wow, that was really smart, that was really clever. At the moment, the ending really sticks with me and I don't really like it. Too many things were answered which possibly they didn't need to answer. I have the same feeling for this movie as I did when I came out of watching The Last Jedi. I felt like perhaps they'd been playing with the audience just to subvert our expectations for no other reason than because they can or because they think that will make the film more interesting. I will probably watch it again when it goes to HBO for free, but I have no wish to pay for it again. Normally when I come out the cinema with this gut feeling, several months later I'll watch it again, I'll be like, yeah, I don't like that film at all. Like The Last Jedi, I've watched that film twice, I think, and never really want to see it ever again. You know when you think something and then you start talking about it and you realise actually you feel a different way about it? Well, when I came out of watching it, I felt very bland, very like, man, it's fine, yeah, okay, whatever. But the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I don't think I really like this movie. That's really helpful though, because as a critic, I should be like laser focused. But this film it ticks all of my boxes. It's exactly the kind of film I love. I love these kind of movies, but this one it didn't float my boat.
It's the little things, Jimmy. It's the little things that rip you apart. It's the little things that get you caught.
So thanks for watching this review. If you liked it and you would like to see more, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I will see you next time on Popcorn Dreams.